Welcome to Out with Dan, the podcast that spotlights and examines the voices of LGBTQ+ authors, characters, and our allies. Together, we lift our voices and we tell our stories. I'm Dan White. Join me as I chat with this week's author. Hello, and welcome back to Out with Dan. Today is a special episode where I'll talk with Martin Matamoros about his new play, The FANATICALS. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're here. Can you give us an idea of what The FANATICALS is about?
Yes, The FANATICALS is a play that I wrote, and it is about a cult called the Little Bunnies. And I also co-directed, and I star in it, and I play a cult leader named Marinky.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So what's Marinky's impetus? What is he doing?
Well, that's a really good question. Marinky, he believes in a little bunny named Pinky. So Pinky is the creator of the world, of the universe, and he has this cult, and he's convinced this cult that Pinky knows all and that we were born a clean slate. And through the powers of Pinky and through Pinky's teachings, we can get back to that clean slate that we were born with. Everything is baggage, everything, OCD, depression, anxiety, those things don't belong to us. And Pinky, with Marinky as the vessel, will help you get to that blank canvas.
Oh, I love that. In all honesty, I think that's sort of what real life should be like, shouldn't it?
Well, the way that I wrote it is I want the audience to really want to join. I want to show it's not a judgmental show. I'm not making fun of cults. If anything, it's saying how susceptible we all are, how appealing that is. And, Marinky compares they don't call it a cult, they call it a belief. And he compares the little bunnies and plage, which is peace, love, and joy, which is what you want to attain. He compares it to a mother and a father that's going to take care of you. And that's so appealing. Who doesn't want that?
I do. I know I do. So a little bit of a spoiler is I know this show because I might have seen bits and pieces of it since I have a part in the show, and I thank you very much for that. It's an interactive show too, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Well, first I want to say to your followers that Dan is amazing and hilarious. And I met Dan a very long time ago, and we did a reading of a show that I did a very long time ago called The Gentleman, which was based on the 1939 classic The Women. And I instantly fell in love with you. And when I was casting this show, I'm like, I think I have a role. But Dan, I don't want to give too much away, but you absolutely need to come see Dan because he's fabulous. And everyone in the cast adores you.
Oh my goodness, that's such a sweet thing to say. I will tell you that I'm in awe of everyone. We're having such a wonderful time. We're in rehearsals, and it's, to watch everyone peel back the layers of the onion, because you've written something for us that is so fun and so fanatical and over the top, which is one of the things that you do so well. This isn't your first time at this, so we're going to blow the roof off with this.
Yes, it's campy, it's fun, but it has poignant moments. But people don't expect, when people come see my shows, they don't expect that. They do expect to laugh because it's so silly, but it's also very dark and it's very emotional. Like I said, it talks about the human need to connect, and then also the human need to be seen, and that need to be nurtured, because that's what Marinky is doing. He's manipulating people because he sees them and he loves them.
And I think that, so to talk a little bit about the show and about real life, so Marinky both manipulates and also nurtures, because it's important to really to make that distinction, because that is one of the things that does happen in life, because Marinki's way of life is to say that this baggage isn't needed. And so Marinki shows us a different way. So we do that, you do that as a playwright and the star of the show, as something that is very loving and kind, and yet at the same time a little over the top in a fun way.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a really fun show. Like I said, it's emotional, and I think to me the power of the show is, I think you're going to end up falling in love with these very strange characters. It's not, because so many, I love a cult documentary. I mean, I've watched all of them. But I think you end up judging and going, well, that can never, that's not, that would never be me. I can't, I would never fall prey to a cult. And I think what this show is illustrating the other side. Like, well, it's community.
Well, and I think that so many of us, well, not just so many of us, I think all humans look for love. And I think how we find our love is borne out in the show so well, because each of the characters are looking for love in their own way. And so Marinki gives us an idea of Marinki loves us, and so we can find a better way in life. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yeah. I mean, when I wrote it, the intention for my character was, I felt like it would be someone that I would want, because I believe you have to be your own parent in life. But you can't wait for anyone. But I think when I was younger, I had this fantasy that someone was going to save me or guide me. So the way I wrote the character was, who would Beguile be? Like, what would have to be said to me to beguile me? And he has like no boundaries, and he'll say anything. And that's also really fun to play. And a lot of times I've written, very solid characters, for like, lead characters that hold shows together. And those are thankless. So, Marinki's he's not the lead. I don't want to give too much away, but he's not.
No.
He's not the lead character. And he's more it's more liberating to play him because he can just be silly.
And he really is the glue that holds our group together, which I think that, when a person is a leader, no matter what that leader is, that person is always the glue that holds the group together. So,
yes.
So you, besides being a playwright, you are also an artist. Is that correct?
I am, and I have been animating a lot lately. And I was mentioning to you earlier that my animation online on Instagram and on TikTok has just like taken off, and it's like a surprise. It's a surprise because Dad, I don't think you know this. So when I was a little boy, my dream was to be an animator. Like, I would watch these Disney movies, and everyone told me, well, you can't do that. You just can't. Like, you can't do that. Everyone told me you can't do that. So I just kind of moved on, and I've drawn and painted my whole life. But about 2 years ago, someone hired me to make like a club flyer, and they're like, it has to move because everything moves now online. And I was terrified, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And he said, well, you better learn. So I learned, and I have been doing it for like a little bit over a year, and it has just recently, unexpectedly, taken off, and it's really cool because it's getting my sites are getting like millions of views.
I love that.
And this is really crazy. So the people who are following me online because of my animation have started coming to my shows.
Hello.
And they're coming to this one.
I love that. It's as if, you join hands and one thing leads to another. We did talk earlier, when you're a creative person, you must find a creative outlet, no matter what that outlet is. And each of us, I think every human has some creativity. But if you are much more of a creative person, you have to find an outlet for it, or else it drives you crazy. So I love the success.
Well, one of the reasons, committing to the play was a big deal for me because I'm like, I have to take a break from all my animation and all the drawing and focus 100% on this play. And, you know, it's a lot of, as you know, last night, it's a lot of work. So it was like a big, like, inhale. Okay, I'm committing to this thing. But like I said, the community that it built and the fact that I'm able to bring this crazy group of creative people and do this really magical thing, it's not comparable to the animation, which I do alone. So that is a big payoff for me to bring together a group of creative people and give them a platform that they maybe wouldn't have without the show.
I love that. So this is a world premiere, and it's also a one night only show.
One night only.
So where will we be and when will we be?
Okay, so the show is this Thursday, the 27th of July, this is my birthday week. So I'm telling
Yes.
you want to celebrate my birthday, come see the show. So it's downtown LA on a Thursday. The venue is called ArtShare. It's 801 East 4th Place, 90013 at 8 p.m. And it's, like I said, a one night only event. You have to come see it. People say, why don't you do it again, honey? I can't. It's true. The shows, they kill me. They kill me.
We promise not to kill you, but it turns out that I'm going to be there Thursday night at 8 p.m. as well. Isn't that fun? We're going to have such a good time.
Yes, we are.
It's going to rock the world or the Casbah or something. We're going to rock all of downtown.
Really magical. And so many cute cast members. Hello.
Well, hello. And some of us are single still.
Yeah. Come for the show, stay for the wedding.
Oh, right. I love that. Do you happen to have some website or social media you would like to share?
Yeah. Well, if you want to get tickets to the show, it's the fanaticals.eventbrite.com. So that's for tickets for the show. We're getting very close to selling out because it is a one-night event only, and people know. People look forward. I always say, you know, there's some shows where they feel obligated, like, oh, my friend's show, I have to go see. But I'm really proud to say that people look forward to coming to see these productions because they know they're going to get a treat. So there's that. And then people can also follow me on Instagram, _Martin_Matamoros.
I love that. Well, I personally know, because I'm personally invested, that we're going to blow the roof off because it is such a fun show. And I'm so excited. And I want to say what a wonderful show you've written and what a privilege it is to be in it. So thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you. Hang on for me just a second.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Out with Dan. You can find more information about this podcast and its host at outwithdan.com, on Twitter at outwithdan, and on Instagram and Facebook at GoOutWithDan. This podcast is hosted by Authors on the Air Global Radio Network, and the theme music is provided by bensound.com. Join us again soon for the next episode of Out with Dan.